What's going on, guys? I hope you're all keeping well, and today I'm bringing you a very different style of video as I'm going to be going through with you all my brand new gaming PC build as a live commentary over the video that I've edited. So it's a very different style of video. I'm not used to doing these style of videos, but there's a first for everything. And for those who have been wondering where I've been over the last 2 weeks, I just wanted to apologize. So what basically happened was my audio interface, it just died. It just jacked in out the blue, and I had nothing to record my videos or do live streams with. And what I'm doing now is I'm currently recording this video on the Go XLR Mini, so hopefully the audio sounds okay, and hopefully by next week I've ordered a brand new audio interface. Everything will be back to normal. So as you can see here, guys, we have the 5000D Corsair case, and at this point I didn't realize that this was too small for the AIO that I had, which is the HX1500i by Corsair. The radiator on it is 420mm. It is huge, and it just was not going into that case, unfortunately, and I had to get a new case, which was the 7000D. You'll see that later on in the video, but as you can see right now, we are unboxing the Rog Crosshair HX1500i motherboard, and we're going to be coupling that with the 9800X3D CPU by AMD, which at this stage I was very nervous because these two components alone are very expensive, and I've got big clumsy hands when it comes to this sort of stuff, and I didn't want to bend any pins or break anything, so I was very nervous. But we did eventually get there. It took me about 5 minutes, which I cut out of this video, but this was the end of the 5 minutes here, what you're watching. I was like dropping it in for 5 minutes. We got it in. And for this build, the RAM that we went with was the Dominator Titanium by Corsair. 32GB of RAM. Each stick, was 32GB, so 64 in total. It's a little bit overkill for what I do. I just game on this PC, but I just wanted to build a PC that was overkill, that I suppose I've lots of headroom, and eventually when the newer graphics cards come out again, I can sell it and build a new PC. That's just the way it's gone now. I've just become a PC enthusiast, and I enjoy doing this now. So I don't know if I did mention this, but this is the second PC I've ever built. So I'm kind of like a novice, an amateur level PC builder. So if anyone that is watching that has more experience and has any tips for me for the future, please let me know down in the comments. So here we are. This is the power supply unit. Again, Corsair, can't go wrong. The HX1500i. It is, yes, probably overkill, but we are running a 5090 for this build, and I wanted lots of headroom. So, you know, that's the reason that I did it. There are all the cables. I'm going to line these all up and get ready to put them in before I put them into the case itself. And here we are. That is the actual ECU itself. Now, this thing is big and it's heavy, and I was admiring it here. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So I'm going to be lining up all of the cables on the table. That was me pulling the face of being scared. You just want to make sure you do all these things right. All these things cost a lot of money, and that's hard-earned money. But yeah, I'm plugging them all in here now before I put them into the case. Making sure I plug them in nice and firm, just so there's no malfunctions down the line anywhere. I know that I've heard if you don't do these connections properly, it can actually end up melting cables or breaking components. So always make sure when you are putting them in, make sure they do click, but make sure you wiggle them around, make sure they're nice and firm. And also in the background there, you can see the case that's on the ground. That's actually the 5000D, and this was like a week after I'd ordered the 7000D, which is the case that's on the table. And I will be taking the motherboard out of the 5000D and putting it into the 7000D later on in this video. But as you can see now, boom, Zotac Gaming 5090 GPU. I'm just taking the power lead out of the box right now to plug it into the PSU. But when I was opening this box, I was like so excited. I was like, oh my life. we're really doing it. Like when I opened the box, it was like, oh, like that, exactly like that, to gaming and beyond. So the power cable the power cable that comes with this GPU is very ugly looking. It's like 1:4, and then that plugs into the 1:4 to the PCU. I need to get an aftermarket one. I think it looks a lot cleaner. But we're going to be rocking that for now. It does look big and ugly in the case for the finished build, but for now it will do the job. I hope it doesn't melt. I've heard people say that it's not very good. It melts. Hopefully that doesn't happen for me. So now we are putting that cable into the PSU to plug into that split 4 cable, whatever kind of cable you would call that. But I'll show it at the end of the video what it looks like in the PC itself when it's plugged into the GPU. Some people might not mind. I suppose if you want that cleaner aesthetic look, I suppose getting that aftermarket cable that I was talking about, it will look nice. But I'm plugging them in now, and I think in a minute I'm going to show you what it looks like. Just kind of looks like an abundance of cables. I guess it's not too bad, but like I said, it will do the job. Just taking my sweet ass time. Here we go, there we are. That is the cable, that is the finished look. And now we are jumping over to wiring up the water cooler, the AOI. Now this is the IQ link, which enables you to like daisy chain like everything, like all your fans from this, which is really good actually. I've never used it before, but I was actually watching a video from Provoked Pro on there. You can actually see him going through it there on my phone. I was just kind of like letting him walk me through it as I was doing it, because I just didn't want to get this kind of stuff wrong, because there's like so many cables and so many things that you could plug into the wrong place. You kind of like have to make sure. So Provoked Prawn, go look him up, he's very good. He's got loads of stuff on his channel about like PC building. But here's me plugging that must be the power going to the water cooler. It is. Yes, I'm sorry about that. That was very long-winded and dragged out, but yeah. This was fiddly, this part of the build. And that little unit that I'm holding right there, that's actually magnetic as well, so that will just like stick straight into the back of your case if it's metal. So now this is the 5000D case, and I am unscrewing the motherboard and I'm going to be putting it into the 7000D. That case is actually on eBay if anyone wants to buy it. I'll actually leave the link in the description. That's quite funny. But I'm also doing some peeling there. Look, I did do that peeling. How could I have done that? So I'm putting it into the 7000D right now, which is massive. Lots of room for lots of stuff, I suppose. But you can fit 12 fans in this case. That's what it said in the description. And a 420mm radiator, which is the size of mine. And, you know, you've got lots of room, breathing room for big PC parts, if that's the way you want to go. So here we are now at the back, and I'm just organizing these cables to put in the power supply unit now. And here she is. Here she is going in. Even though this case is big, I'm still finding it hard to, you know, get my hands in and maneuver it around. But I suppose the more I do this, the more experience I'm going to get. So just turning it so you can see it a bit better. My big head's just in the way. But I zoomed in the camera like that so you can see me screwing in the cables, or screwing in the power supply unit. And now I'm plugging all the cables from the power supply unit into the motherboard, and from the PC case into the motherboard. This was very fiddly as well. It just takes time, and be patient, and you'll do it. If you've got small hands than me, then you'll be flying. That's some nice shots. Nice shots of the motherboard there, and my big elbow getting in the way. So what I'm doing now is pulling the CPU cables from the power supply unit into the motherboard. There's 2 of them on mine, so I'm plugging them in. They're both in, nice and secure. And we are starting to get the case ready for the water cooler mounting here. This was when I realized on the last 5000D case, when I was putting this water cooler in, I was like, what? This isn't going in. And then, you know, I had that heart drop feeling of, oh my god, it's not gonna work. Which then I had to order this case, but it's all good because we're here now. So I'm screwing this in. Nice and easy does it, I suppose. That's in, and I will be putting, like I'm doing right now, the actual cooler onto the CPU, making sure everything's secure. You can screw this down nice and firm. I actually dropped one of the screws in here, and like my big hands were struggling to to get it. But I should have used a magnetic screwdriver for that. But there we are. And here we are. We've got some nice fans, which are IQ Link as well, which link into, which daisy chain off the little unit that I have in the back of the case already, off the water cooler, which is cool. So I'm going to be putting this together. You can see as I put this together how easy it is, and like you have less wires. It's just a really good system, I suppose. So there's like a little clip that goes on one side that just clips them together, and then there's like a clip that joins the RGB and the power together, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm doing there now. They are joined together and they're like really solid, so it's like really secure. It's just a good job. It's a good job. You'll see. I'll show the camera now in a minute. But this is me coming to the end of the build, really. Everything seems to be going smooth at this point. I just took my time. I didn't rush. Like, even the light outside, just slowly but surely see it getting darker. This build took me from like 8 o'clock in the evening to like 3 o'clock in the morning. So where these fans are going to go is at the back of the case. They're going to be pulling in air into the case, as well as the front fans as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fans in this case at the end of this build. That's including the water cooler fans as well. 1 exhaust fan. I'm gonna have to see, can I get more? But lots of cables going on. I still have to cable manage that, so don't judge right now. At the end, I think I did quite a good job at cable managing this. But that's the little power connector for those fans that I'm plugging in right now. And then just screw them on like that. And the lights are on now. It's getting dark. And I actually recorded this video at 30 FPS on my camera because I didn't realize that I could shoot at 60 FPS. So hopefully the video quality is okay for you guys. And obviously, as you can see, we are peeling all the plastic off the GPU because we're about to mount GPU. Oh yeah, baby. I should have kept the sound on that because everyone wants to hear the sound of the... So there's the RTX 5090 in all its glory. Oh yeah, some more peeling there of the motherboard. So yeah, this was actually a little bit tricky. I didn't hear the clip when I clipped this in. It just kind of like slotted in and there was no click. So I had to like make sure I wanted to hear the click. So I like took out the GPU like 3 or 4 times, making sure that like it would click, but it didn't. But it was slotted into place. Okay. And there's that ugly ass adapter cable that I'm plugging in now. And as you can see, it does look a bit silly. But you know, I will eventually get that aftermarket part and it will tidy up the case a lot more. And that, guys, pretty much sums up the entire PC build, and I really enjoyed doing this build. I hope you enjoyed it just as much watching, And if anyone has any questions about it, please ask away down in the comments and I will reply. And here I am doing a nice little finishing touch to the bottom of the case. And I will eventually get some RGB fans for the front, but for now it should be alright. And here we are, the PC is running, everything's working. We had no problems when I started it, so that is great. A bit of a shaky camera hand there, so I do apologise. I'll have to do more of these videos so I get better at doing these style of videos, but I'm actually very proud of myself for doing a live commentary and it went this well. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe with notifications on. Don't forget to leave a comment and I will see you all on the next video. Thanks for watching.